welcome to another episode of Ask the Doulas. I am Alyssa Benacloss, co-owner and postpartum doula at Gold Coast, and today I'm so excited to be talking to Dr. Annie and Dr. Rachel of Rise Wellness. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
Hello.
I kind of want to hear about your new business venture, the both of you, Rise Wellness. We both knew you when you worked for a different chiropractor's office, and what made you both kind of venture out on this alone?
Well, we
work together.
Yeah.
So when you work for another chiropractor, you're kind of under their whole umbrella of their philosophy, their vision, and which works for a while until you get to a point when you're like, this isn't my philosophy and vision, and there's other ways I want to help people. And so we talked about it, and we're like, let's open our own.
Yeah.
And we talked to you. You're like, I got a great space for you. And we said,
Yeah, I did. We're neighbors. We're both in Easttown now.
Yeah. And it definitely helped facilitate that once Dr. Rachel went on maternity leave to have her twins. We kind of changed our whole philosophy and our focus and wanting to work more with pregnant moms and babies too. And we realized that that was a huge subset of the population that wasn't receiving the care that we felt like they needed. Mm-hmm. So that's why we wanted to focus.
Now, most people would get pregnant, and especially pregnant with twins, and not say, hey, let's quit my job and start my own business right when I have these twins.
It just seemed
but
right.
you did. And how did that work? I mean, I know you said timing-wise it worked because you went on maternity leave.
Yeah, and I just
kind
didn't
of
go back.
Yeah, you're done.
Yeah, it worked out well for that. I'm lucky I had Dr. Annie as a partner because she honestly did a lot of it. And I'm lucky I have a husband that has an MBA and knows how to set up a business and is an accountant. It really wasn't that difficult. And it worked out for, how am I going to be a mom still and, but still work and do, what I love doing. And when you work for someone, I really didn't have the option of working my own hours, so it just made sense. I'm gonna go do my own thing.
Yeah,
now.
that was a big driver.
That was a big driver. Okay, I can work the hours I want to work, but I can still stay at home with the girls when I want to be home with them.
Mm-hmm. And you are my chiropractor, so I'm in your office quite a bit. And I loved that you have a dresser filled with diapers. And it's not just because you have a lot of babies in there, but tell me what you said, Dr. Annie, when I was like, oh, why do you have all these diapers?
Oh, accidental blowouts.
Yeah.
So after babies get adjusted, their nervous systems are working better, and so their digestion, sometimes kicks on, right after an adjustment, and we just want to be prepared and have a space for moms, so they don't have to, rush home or rush to the bathroom or anything. It's we can just be available right there and make it easy. We have a diaper genie, so you don't have to worry about it stinking of the office or anything.
Yeah. It's a very baby-friendly space.
Oh yeah. And we want to be accessible and available for everyone who wants to come in, especially moms with kids and stuff. We know that can sometimes be hectic and messy, and we want to make it as safe an environment for them as possible.
Yeah, I brought my 5-year-old in with me last time, and she, of course, found your coloring books and the doll.
Oh, did she come in?
She did. Yeah, she missed you.
Yeah.
I know, I'll have to bring her in again.
I had my girls in on Saturday, and they pooped while we were there. So.
Which is another nice thing of owning your own space, right? You owning your business, if you need to bring your daughters in, who's going to yell at you?
Yeah.
Annie, I guess.
I would never yell about having them in there.
And tell me about the different approach. So you were NUCA chiropractors before, and now you're doing something completely different. Can you tell me about what you're doing now?
Yeah, so we're definitely focused more on pediatrics and pregnancy care. We still see everybody, but that's where we definitely wanted to focus. And we're both doing additional training in that. And so before we were at an upper cervical practice, which is the top bones of the spine. So we were focused on that. And we just had a little different philosophy. We felt like the whole spine was just as important. So we wanted to take kind of what we had learned from the practice that we were at and still say, okay, this is really important, but we're also going to focus on other areas of the spine and see where changes need to be made there as well. So now we're scanning and checking everything and making sure that everything is lined up and working the way it's supposed to. And with kids and moms and stuff, kids definitely, like, it's important to pay attention to that upper cervical area because a lot of things can happen there from like birth trauma, but there's also a lot of things that show up in other areas of the spine too, especially in kids as they're starting to pull themselves up and falling down on their butts. Sacrum is going to be a big one that we're going to be checking too, especially if there's any digestive issues or things like that. So,
and plus we with NUCA, it was very structural based. Like, what's the structure of the spine? We want it's here, we want it here, and you had to X-ray. And obviously, you're not going to be X-raying pregnant women and children. You don't really want X-ray as often either. So there just had to be a different approach, and we used a different exam, and we checked like the functionality of the nervous system. So really looking at how is your body functioning, not just, well, are you out of pain? Oh, are your legs level? It's like, is your nervous functioning at its optimum?
I mean, structure's great, posture's great.
We need
a lot of chiropractors
that's
use
kind of
that,
like change naturally. With
but we definitely wanted to take more of a functional approach and say, like, okay, we can actually look at how your nervous system is functioning, how your body's adapting, how your body's developing and growing, and saying we can make that better. And that to us is more important than, like, is your spine in the correct, like, is your posture perfect, or is your head sitting right on top of your shoulders? Like, that's really important too, but if we can actually dive into the nervous system and see how your body's functioning and adapting, that seems way more powerful and way more
that's
important.
what like changes life. And it's not like, oh, my head. It's like,
exactly. Like, at least I look good with my good posture, but like, is your body functioning right? Like,
So tell people about the scans. I've never seen anything quite like that. And when you did that to me, do you do that to kids too?
Yeah.
The same thing?
Okay. Yeah. So that's relatively new in chiropractic, those scans are. And it's really cool. So we look at thermography, which is the temperature of the back. So we run it along the spine and see what the temperature difference is.
And to let people know, it's like a tiny little handheld thing with rollers, right? Is it rollers that I felt? Okay. Like up and down my spine. Okay.
Yep. And then the EMG, which is electromyography, that's measuring the energy that the muscles are using to hold you up. So it's measuring the electricity there. And that one is just like sensors that go like along your spine as well at different levels. And then we do HRV, which is heart rate variability. So kind of similar to like measuring your heart rate with a fitness monitor. This is looking at variations in that heart rate. And that's been used in medical research and literature as like a longevity outcome measure too. So it really shows us like how your body's functioning and how it's adapting and how your overall health and well-being is.
I'm going to live forever.
You are. Yours is the best we've seen. It's better than Dr. Annie's.
I just, we just opened a practice.
Yeah, it was a really interesting process. I guess I didn't really know what I was getting into when you did it, but it was really cool to see the different levels.
Yeah, and the cool thing is, like, when we do those scans, it's not putting anything into the body, it's just measuring what your body's already doing. So there isn't, like, any radiation or anything like that, and that was something that we really liked about doing this approach more so than like taking x-rays again.
A pregnant mom can do it.
Yes.
What about a baby?
Yeah, baby, I mean, it's difficult, but you can.
Yeah.
It's just, my girls are so squirmy.
So small. Oh,
well, no, they're just squirmy. And so they're a little more.
Yeah, so thermography is the easiest thing to do on an infant or on a child. EMG is a little harder because they have to hold still because, again, you're measuring what the muscles are doing. And then for the HRV, instead of putting their hand like on the reader, there's an ear clip that we can use.
Babies.
So sometimes they don't like that either, but we just get as much information as we can so we can make the best clinical decisions.
Well, we're so excited to have you next to us. Like, it just makes so much sense.
It's match made in heaven.
Yeah, I know. We're excited.
We happen to know pregnant women, and you can help them. So what would you like people to know about your practice?
I'm Webster certified now, and I've gone through all of the modules for the full like pediatric certification. I'm just working through my exam right now, so by the end of the summer I will be like fully specialized in pediatrics and pregnancy care too, which I think there's maybe like two others in Kent County or something like that.
Yeah,
so that's
not many.
Yeah, within the city of Grand Rapids I'll be the only one, which is just, I think it's awesome, and I'm excited that I get to, specialize in that and work with pregnant moms and kids, because it's so much fun to see those changes like in their development and stuff.
And kids love it. Once they start getting adjusted, they know it makes them feel good. Like they can tell, and they're like,
and pregnant women too. Like,
I wouldn't have made it through my pregnancy. I'm guaranteed I would not have made it through
with twins, as long as you did. I mean, you did amazing. You went 38,
almost 39 weeks.
Almost 39 weeks, and then gave birth to 2 8.5-pound babies.
I know, it's
like
insane.
you did a really good job.
Yeah, and I worked up till about the end there. So
exactly. And what pregnant mom doesn't want? Easier pregnancy and a quicker, easier labor. Like,
right. Well, and I know from my daughter's perspective, she doesn't like the cracking kind of chiropractic that scares little kids. So your guys' is very gentle.
It scares a lot of adults too.
Yeah.
So we use a really kind of unique adjusting tool. I don't think a lot of people around here use it. It's called an activator, but we have a couple other adjusting tools that we use, but they're so easy, and it's just really easy for the body to take, and it's, again, no twisting or...
Yeah, really gentle, really specific.
So if you had to tell a parent who's never had a chiropractic care, if you had to tell them one thing, like either about their bodies or their kids, like what do you think people are missing out on?
Optimal health.
Yeah, I mean that you really like, what is that saying? Like you live your body, like you live your life through your nervous system.
Yeah,
like your nervous system controls everything. Everyone thinks chiropractors, they think bones, they think cracking, they think neck pain, they think back pain, which is like so far. I mean, it's like very, very small. Like those are results you get from chiropractic care. Like you feel better, but like really we're dealing with the nervous system, and the nervous system controls everything. I mean, everything that goes on in our body.
Yeah. Well, and it's sensation for everything too. So everything that we perceive in our environment, like the way kids, they have like tactile exercises and stuff like that for kids. So they want tactile toys and they want a lot of colors. All that sensation is helping their neurodevelopment. So that's every sensation that you have, every emotion that you have, every experience that you have is all run through your nervous system. And then your body takes that information and decides what to do with it, and then that's your response to it too. So really like your entire life experience is run through your nervous system.
And so what chiropractic really does is we remove any interference that might be from the outside world to how you're like
in that communicating
system. So we remove it through adjusting the spine, and so you really can just live optimally. Then your body can function optimally.
Yeah.
If like in the very, very most basic form, like our brains run our body, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's the center for the nervous system.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
all the nerves come down. And if, like you said, from childbirth with a traumatic, maybe some neck injury, or from walking and falling on their bums to, 18-year-olds, like how many times I fell snowboarding, like who knows what I did to my body, right? All those little tweaks adjust how your nerves,
how your brain's communicating,
how your brain communicates through your nervous system.
But not just that, but also toxins that we take in, or being really stressed out, that's also going to show up in your nervous system. So not just trauma, but we call it the 3 T's in chiropractic: toxins, trauma, and thoughts. Are the causes of subluxation. And so that's what chiropractors specialize in, is removing that interference and restoring that normal communication in the body.
Very well put.
Yeah, so there we go.
The end.
Done.
You can tell we're pretty passionate about what we do.
Well, you guys should come check out their space. So they are just a couple doors down from us in the Kingsley building. We're in East Town. I know the offices are on the second floor. You guys are in Suite 201. Would somebody, if they just wanted to drop in and say hi?
Yeah.
As long as you're there. I mean, you're normally...
They can come check out the giraffe table.
Yeah.
Please stop in. We've got LaCroix and bottled water. Coffee. Come hang out.
And then, so if they don't want to stop in, tell people how to find you.
So our website is www.risewellnesschiro.com. We're also on Facebook and Instagram at Rise Wellness Chiro, or you can call us. Our phone number is 616-258-8480. Otherwise, wave to us on the street. I usually walk to work, so you probably see me in my Rise.
And you guys,
we wear our shirts all the time.
I'll get a picture of you.
Yeah, let's say Mama too. I have no time. I guess don't fit in my other clothes.
Awesome. Well, thank you both for being here. I love what you're doing.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Thank you. Yeah.
And as always, you can find us on our website, goldcoastdoulas.com, and we are also on Facebook, Instagram, and you can listen to our podcast on SoundCloud and iTunes. Thanks. Remember, these moments are golden.